Let's go out to San Francisco, California, and talk to Jacob. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, John. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course. What's up, man?
Yeah, I guess I'll get right into it. The last few years, I've been struggling with porn addiction.
Tell me about it, man.
Yeah. So,
hold on 1 second. Is that the first time you've said that out loud?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah, of course.
Did that feel weird and surreal to say that out loud?
Well, I've written it down on paper a lot, but yeah, that's the first time I said it out.
Yeah, well, I'm grateful that you trusted me enough to say that. Appreciate that. So tell me about the origin story here, man.
Yeah. So I guess I'll walk you through the how I got to this point and how like the reason why I want to call and talk with you about this.
Perfect.
Yeah. So earlier this year, I started reading your book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And I got to about halfway. And one of the questions I asked is, what are a few things that you did either growing up or in the recent past that haunt you or that violate the person that you want to be? And for me, this is one of those things.
How'd you get started?
Started as in like,
I mean, if you go back and you pull the thread on your personal story, your personal history, when's the first time you were exposed to this that you knew, oh, I want to see that again?
When I was 12.
Okay.
And it started off as just like regular pornography, and then it slowly got worse and worse throughout the years. I'd say it was at its worst when I was like 15 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still trying to like get over the hump, but at its worst, I was engaging in video chat pornography with other women online.
Okay. Even as a 15 and 16-year-old?
Yes.
Wow. So much for the safeguards they're so proud of.
Yeah.
That it's just adults talking to adults. Yeah, that's tough, man. That is blowing out the hedonic sensor in your brain, man. That's a lot of freewheeling cheap dopamine circling up in that system, and that is really, really hard to just control, alt, delete, and walk away from. So, what has happened recently that you reached out? Usually, something has happened.
Yeah.
What happened?
So recently, I'm starting out my first semester of college, and
so you're 18 right now?
Yeah, this is like my second week.
Oh wow, okay. How's the first week going?
Oh man, it's so much fun. I really like it.
Very cool.
Yeah, going great.
Okay, so this is week. You're into week 2.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Well, I think right now would be a good time to really, be aggressive and try and get some work done on this and move forward.
What does be aggressive look like for you?
That looks like making progress, putting in the hard work to end this addiction.
Okay. I agree with the be aggressive part of what you said. That is counter to make progress. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're going to make progress on the cheap dopamine. We're going to make progress on channeling some of this angst and loneliness and shame into productive behaviors. Okay. But we are going to be aggressive about the external presenting problem, is the way we say it in the nerd world. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What does that mean? That means if you're going to get serious about this, you have to go scorched earth. And here's why. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And so when somebody is struggling with alcohol, when they have deemed themselves an alcoholic, they cannot have a beer, especially at the beginning. They can't go into a bar at the beginning. They can't go to a friend's house where they're serving alcohol at the beginning. Many of them can get there over time, but at the beginning, it is scorched earth. What does scorched earth mean for you? That might mean getting rid of your phone or sharing apps with your parents. That might mean getting rid of your laptop, which makes college almost impossible. And you have to go to the school library to type on something, or you have to borrow a laptop from the school. And what I'm saying sounds insane, and people are going to be driving, listening to this and roll their eyes. But I've sat with too many young people in your situation, dude, in college, in my dean of students offices at colleges across the country, and you are haunted, aren't you?
I think so.
Yeah. Fair or not fair?
Absolutely fair.
So, do your parents have any idea that you're struggling so much? Or that you've been engaging in what I mean, live sex via Zoom, essentially, since you were 15 years old, 14 years old?
Well, I think they knew at some point, but I don't think they knew just how bad it was.
Were they thinking like with a Playboy mindset? Like a lot of parents hear pornography and they think of the Playboys that their friend's dad had under the bed or that their dad had under the bed. They don't have a psychology for, oh no, my son is talking to somebody in another country and she will do anything he asks her to and talk back to him the whole time.
Right.
That is not in most parents' psychology. And that you can do that from your freaking cell phone.
Yeah.
Or your laptop in your bedroom. And you're saying, I'm playing Call of Duty, Mom, and you're literally talking to a 24-year-old woman in another country. That is an insanity and a madness that most parents don't understand is happening. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. So, two words that are really important to me when I'm sitting with somebody who is struggling with any sort of form of addiction. And my guess is you've tried to not do this on your own, right? Like you've said, I'm not doing this anymore, and you shut the laptop and you delete all the apps and you slowly found your way back. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's definitely been the situation on and off over the last few years.
Okay. So the two words that always guide my conversations with folks is awareness and curiosity. So I'll just ask you,
Mm-hmm.
When are the times, if you look back and you could say, oh yeah, when are the times you have re-downloaded the apps?
Anytime I've found like a loophole or some way to access the addiction. So like I'll give an example. So like last week I had an old Chromebook that I forgot I had. And I guess I was so desperate that I ended up using it. And then immediately after I threw it away.
Well, I do agree with you that most Chromebooks should end up in the trash. We are in alignment there. Man. So when somebody says I'm struggling with pornography, I've got a porn addiction. That's a spectrum. But just you and me being honest, you're way over your head, aren't you?
I'm actually not quite sure what that means.
That means you found your ways into some dark areas of the world through that computer, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've seen some gnarly stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you reached out to a professional at this point?
I have not.
Okay. I need you to hear me super clear, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're on a trajectory, a rocket ship to jail. You are particularly on a rocket ship to get yourself kicked out of college. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm telling you that because I've investigated one step of where you are right now at the university level on multiple occasions. Okay?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I'm gonna trust what you say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are on a dangerous path, is what I'm telling you. And if you haven't already, you will be approached for things that, because when you say you get desperate, it's that pressure. It builds and it builds and it builds and it builds.
Mm-hmm.
And you will do anything, like find an old computer, and you will eventually end up on a school laptop or your neighbor's laptop, or you will find yourself responding to a chat like, hey, if you think that was cool, I got something for you. Or some call girl on the computer who says, if you thought that was awesome, click this link or call this number because they'll up the ante. And now you are way over your head. And so what I'm telling you right now is, and it doesn't happen, it happens so benign and so next step that suddenly people go, oh my, because I'm here. I have a computer full of child pornography. I have a computer full of really graphic, like disturbing pornography, if you're not already there in either of those situations. So here's what I'm telling you. Step one, when we get off this call, I want you to make an appointment with a male counselor at your college counseling center today, right now. Got it?
Okay.
And I want you to go be as open with that person as you are with me. And I want you to say the following words. I have an addiction to pornography, but it is not just images and it is not just movies. I have, for the last 3 or 4 years, been in regular contact with live models and actors who will do what I say on screen. You have to start there with that level of honesty with your counselor, okay?
Okay.
That's step one. Step two, you need to see if you have a local SA. I think it's Sexaholics Anonymous. I don't know the exact verbiage there in your hometown where you happen to be. Mm-hmm. I promise you do. And I promise you will not be the only college kid in that meeting. But you have to get into a place where you can say these things out loud. And it's important to see where this all can head. And it will also be important to see a group of men who are past you, who are older than you, wiser than you, who have completely taken ownership back of their life. Okay? Yeah. So that's two things. That's two sources of accountability. Here's the intentional stuff right in front of you. I want you to write this down, and I want you to put this on your mirror. I want you to put this by your bed. I want you to put this everywhere that you're going to see something. EYD. Earn your dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
No more hacks. No more sideways attempts. If you want intimacy, sexual intimacy, connection, I have to go on a date. I have to earn my dopamine. I got to ask somebody out and work and risk getting dumped. If I want to lose weight, I'm not just going to take a bunch of speed and a bunch of whatever pills. I'm going to go to the gym. If I'm going to do good on a test, I'm not going to cheat my way to that dopamine. I'm going to study really hard. Earn your dopamine it's my buddy Michael Easter calls it the 2% rule. It is a intentional way of doing life. I'm going to take the harder path because the harder path I take, the more extraordinary the result is on the other end of this thing. Okay? But this is you. This is going to be a complete reframe. What does that look like in real life? Always take the stairs. Always. Even when you have to make 2 trips. Avoid the elevator. Avoid the escalator. Always tip more than you think is appropriate. Always ask somebody if you can carry their bag. And that's probably not the world you've lived in for a long time, but this is a complete shift. Okay? The second thing is you're going to have to get really scorched earth about your products. I mean, your digital access in your house. You can't control yourself at this moment in time. You can't. So you have to put so many hurdles in front of you. I'll go as far to say, if you need to step away from college for a semester and have no access to a computer, do that. I'll go as far to say, get rid of your smartphone and get a flip phone. And act all cool about it. Like, I'm just a hip, trendy, cool guy with the flip phone. Whatever you have to do. I just have had this conversation more times than I can count. You are over your head. You're over your head. You're over your head. And I'll give you a quote from the great Brene Brown. Shame eats secrets for breakfast. Shame gathers its strength and power from secrets. That's why SA meetings and a counselor are going to be so crucial, because I'm saying these things out loud. Shame will have no power over me anymore. And when you dispel shame, now you can actually get to the issues that drive you to some of this stuff, some of that impulse behavior. Then you're going to start becoming aware. Oh, every time I get in a fight with my mom, or every time I feel lonely, I just start to reach for the computer. Okay. I'm going to become more aware and more aware. Why I keep reaching for the computer? Okay. It's because I'm tired. It's because I haven't eaten well. It's because of any number of things. And then when you get that shred of awareness, as the great Dr. Judd Brewer says, that's when behavior change can happen. That's it. That's going to take a minute. And what I don't want you to do is get yourself over your head even more, get yourself arrested, continue this path of hurting the women on the other end of this stuff. And if you want to go do a deep dive into the women on especially those in other countries on the other end of these webcam things, it's madness. Now, I know the OnlyFans is a whole other conversation we can have, but nobody wins, man. I will say this. I'm really proud of you for calling, Jacob. Really proud of you from calling. I think you got to college and saw all these incredible friends that you're going to make and started seeing people that I think I want to be like this. And you knew you had this looming, terrifying secret in the closet. And I'm proud of you for opening the closet door and saying no more. It'll be a tough, tough road. Pornography is everywhere. In every phone, every computer, everywhere. So you're going to be swimming upstream, my brother. But I promise you can do it.